Hey there, and welcome to the second Inlet Media video, and we're going to be reviewing another browser today, Internet Explorer 8 from Microsoft. Now, it was released yesterday, March 19th, 2009, and I've been testing it out a bit in the interim. I have it installed on a Windows XP virtual machine running on my MacBook, so that's why you see both operating systems. I had heard some people online talking about how difficult it was to install, that you had to go through multiple restarts and have your Windows key verified and that kind of nonsense. I had none of those issues. I cannot speak to them. It did require a restart, but besides that, it was a painless installation. However, when I opened i8 up for the first time, I thought something had gone wrong because, as you can see, at first glance, almost nothing is different. I still thought I had IE7 on. So at least the user interface hasn't changed much at all. But once we get digging a little bit, we'll see that some other areas Microsoft has made some big changes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is setting up Internet Explorer 8 once you get it installed. And you get this list of search engines to use as your default. So I'm going to choose Google here. And yes, I'm going to make it my default. Click Add. And you see up in the top right hand corner there, it changed from the live search to Google. So that's nice. And then we're going to go to Accelerator. And Accelerator are just basically little programs that help you do things. And I installed the Gmail program earlier, and that's why it just has replace here. It would normally have add. But these are just help you do little things. Okay, now we've jumped over to the Internet Explorer 7 start page. We are still in IE8, but you can look at the IE7 start page. And as you notice, it doesn't look too good. It doesn't look well put together. And this is because Microsoft has to fight an unfortunate reality, which is that they were so dominant for so long, in the 90s specifically, in the web market, that they ignored web standards. They did their own thing. So what happened is there's a whole bunch of proprietary code around Microsoft's websites, around its partners' websites, on a whole bunch of websites. And only recently have browsers come about that are open standards, web standards, and the web standards community has been pushing for Internet Explorer to be more standards compliant, and that's kind of Internet Explorer is their response to that. And it's a good response, but unfortunately they have a whole bunch of websites that are still coded in a way that only Internet Explorer 6 and Internet Explorer 7 understand. So to meet both groups, I think they've done something very well, which is introduce compatibility mode. In compatibility mode, if something isn't working like this, it's obviously broken. You can click on it, and now it looks good. And the reason for this is that it has Internet Explorer built into Internet Explorer 8. So Internet Explorer 8 runs by default in the web standards mode, but it also can run as if it was Internet Explorer in the bad mode, as it were, and fix things if the web page isn't coded correctly. And if you go to another website here that is not standards compliant, Microsoft.com, you'll notice that the button is not there because Microsoft made another good decision, very pragmatic decision. They've researched websites, the major websites, and there's a list of about 2,400 that do not render in Internet Explorer 8 correctly because the code is confused, because it can't tell the difference between Internet Explorer 6, Internet Explorer 7, and Internet Explorer 8. So they've created a list of websites that don't work, and it's built in to IE8, and it knows which sites to render in compatibility mode, and I think that's great. It's a nice way to make it easier on everybody. Okay, so let's look at some of the other new features. Here's all the accelerators, as I talked about before. And then in here is the new thing called in-private browsing, and this is something that other browsers have had for years now, I think, and it's a browser session that does not save cookies, internet files, history, or other data, so you can surf securely. It's lovingly called porn mode because that's what people use it for. People do, but it has other uses. Public browsing and public computers is a good place that I would use it, but it's just a piece of ketchup, and that's kind of the problem with Internet Explorer. Is a lot of it just feels like ketchup. There's nothing revolutionary. It's very just evolutionary, just catching up to where other people are. They're just trying to make people happy, it feels like, in many of this. And that's a fine thing, but I really wish Microsoft had tried to hit a home run instead of going with something safe. They also include developer tools in IE8, which is nice. They were in IE7 and IE6 as well. I don't know, but they were in IE7, but they were a separate download, as far as I remember, and that they're included is rather nice, though not everyone's going to be super excited about that. Okay, another new feature. Go to my website really quick here. Is real-time zooming in. So I'm just clicking Control plus or Control minus. So it doesn't anymore. In older browsers, IE6, IE7, I think Safari still does this. A lot of browsers used to just enlarge the text to make it more readable, but now we're moving towards zooming in. So text is enlarged, but on top of that, it's nice because images are also enlarged, and probably find one, there it is. And it kind of makes up for the fact that if you have the text moving and images not, then it looks really ugly. Whoa. I accidentally clicked something, I'm sorry. So I wish IE8, sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. But I wish IE8 didn't do stuff like this. It pushes things off to the side, and it does that, but it's still better than what it was before. And I think from Internet Explorer in particular, I'll take all the improvement I can get. So I still think that if you want the best browser experience, then you want to try Firefox. That's definitely on Windows one of the better ones. I think Chrome maybe is a little bit better, but Firefox and Chrome are much better browsers than Internet Explorer. And it still feels like Internet Explorer is just doing catch up. Microsoft has seen what other people are doing and are basically just copying them or ripping off the incognito mode. They also ripped off in Chrome the separate processes. So if something crashes in Internet Explorer 8, it won't take down the whole browser, and it probably won't take down your whole computer. Those are all great things, but it feels really like that should have been done a while ago. And so that's the kind of thing that I have a problem with recommending it. It's a good browser, it's fine, but it's also nothing too special. And I really wish that Microsoft had tried to go for a home run instead of playing it safe. So that's my quick review and look at Internet Explorer 8. I hope everybody who has to use Internet Explorer upgrades to this because it will make web developers' lives much easier. But it doesn't break my heart if you use other browsers that use web standards as well, because we'll all get to the same place. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'll visit my site.